You ever wonder how the super wealthy actually manage their money? You might think it's all about having this gigantic income, but what if I told you the real secret is just a simple system, a system that works whether you're making 10 grand a year or a million?
So let's just dive right into this rule because look, this isn't some high level, complicated theory. It's a really practical, step by step framework that can genuinely reshape your financial future. And you can start like right now.
These are the only three numbers you really need to remember: 75, 10, and 15. That's it. Together, they make up a super simple but powerful rule for how you spend, save, and, most importantly, invest your money. It's the 75, 10, 15 rule, and it's going to make managing your finances a whole lot clearer.
So here's the game plan. We're going to start with that big number, 75%, which is all about your spending. Then we'll get into that 10%. That's your financial safety net. After that, we hit the really exciting part, the 15% that becomes your wealth building engine. And then we'll tie it all together to see how it works. Okay, first up, the 75%. This is all about getting a handle on your cash flow without having to, obsess over every single little thing you buy. Now, the key word here is maximum. 75% is the ceiling. If you can live your life happily on less, that's amazing, even better. This isn't about pinching every penny. It's just about being mindful of your big spending so you can make room for what really matters, hitting your financial goals. And this right here gets to the heart of the whole mindset shift. It's not about stressing over the small stuff, right? Like that $5 coffee that might actually bring you a little bit of joy. It's about putting the big expenses under the microscope. I mean, is that brand new car really going to add $70,000 of value to your life? Or could a more modest one get you from A to B just as well? You gotta hear this story. It just perfectly illustrates the point. Someone was at a dinner with a bunch of millionaires, and when the bill came, they all pulled out their phones to split it perfectly. This shows that building wealth isn't about spending like crazy. It's about being intentional with your money, no matter how much you have. They're focused on the value, not the flash. All right, so with our spending under control, it's time to build a solid foundation. This is where that 10% comes in. This is your financial safety net. Let's be clear. This is not your vacation fund. It's not for a new phone. This is your break glass in case of emergency money. A flooded basement, a sudden job loss, a huge medical bill. That's what this is for. It is the buffer that stands between you and total financial disaster. And here's why that buffer is so critical. A study from 2022 found that more than half, 56% of Americans can't afford an unexpected $1,000 expense. That's terrifying. Having a cushion fund completely changes that equation. It gives you real peace of mind. So, how big does this cushion need to be? Well, the math is actually super simple. First, just add up all your essential monthly expenses. We're talking rent, bills, groceries, the must-haves. Then, multiply that number by 5. So, for example, if your monthly basics cost $2 grand, your target is a $10,000 cushion. And here's the best part. Once you hit that goal, you can point that 10% at your other goals and make it work even harder for you. But listen, where you park this emergency cash matters a lot. A standard old-school savings account, it's going to earn you next to nothing. A high-yield savings account, or an HYSA, on the other hand, actually lets your money grow a bit while it's just sitting there. And as you can see, the difference is, well, it's pretty huge. Just think about that for a second. On a $10,000 fund, that's an extra $343 every single year, just for picking a better account. It's literally free money. Okay, this is where things get really fun. You've gotten your spending under control, you've built your safety net. Now it's time for the final and, frankly, the most powerful piece of the puzzle, the 15% that actually builds your wealth. Here's the deal. Real long-term wealth isn't just about what you earn from your job. It's about what you own. This 15% is dedicated to buying assets, things that grow in value all on their own. This is the part of the system that makes your money work for you, 24/7, even when you're sleeping. For most of us, there are 2 heavy hitter accounts to do this in, and they both have massive tax advantages. First, there's the Roth IRA. Your money in there grows, and you can take it out in retirement completely tax-free. Then there's the 401k, which often comes with this unbelievable perk from your employer. Opening a Roth IRA is way easier than you think, but please pay close attention to step 4. So many people open an account, they transfer the money in, and then they just leave it sitting there as cash, wondering why it never grows. You have to actually buy the investments inside the account. That is the crucial final step. Now, about that 401k match. If your job offers one, this is the closest thing to free money you will ever get. I mean it. They literally give you money just for saving for your own future. You absolutely have to contribute at least enough to get that full match.
I mean, just look at this example. On a $65,000 salary, a pretty typical match could mean your employer just hands you an extra $2,600 for your retirement every single year. Leaving that on the table is basically like turning down a raise. Don't do it.
So you've got the account set up. Awesome. But what do you actually invest your money in? Well, let's look at a really simple, really powerful strategy that unleashes the magic of compounding.
For most people, the answer is low-cost index funds or ETFs. Think of it like this. Instead of trying to pick one winning company, which is super hard, you're just buying a tiny slice of the entire market, like the 500 biggest companies in the US. It's automatically diversified, it's simple, and it's a proven set-it-and-forget-it strategy. And this is where the real magic happens. Just look at the power of time and compound interest. Investing just $100 a month might not feel like a lot at first, but over a lifetime, it explodes. It turns into a life-changing amount of money. The growth isn't a straight line. It's a curve that just gets steeper and steeper and steeper over time. It's incredible. So there you have it, the 75-10-15 rule. It isn't some complicated secret. It's a clear, simple, actionable system. It gives you control, it gives you security, and it gives you a direct path to building real wealth. The system is yours now. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?